name is Rita. I'm the founder of Impact Plus that has the 3 different brands, Impact Trip, Impact House and Impact Team. And we are a social business certified B Corp, and our mission is to support and empower non-profit organizations. So it started 6 years ago as a travel idea. So we created the first Impact Trip. Impact Trip is a responsible travel experiences operator, and this started just like a trip. I was traveling in Southeast Asia, solo traveling, and I really loved my experience. I was volunteering and meeting the locals, and when I came back to Portugal, my country, there was nothing like this. So anyone like that was international, a foreigner, could not volunteer in Portugal in an easy way. So together with Diogo, the other co-founder, we started working on Impact Trip, and from an idea we created a social business that allow others to be able to have a meaningful trip here. From an idea of traveling, it became Impact Trip, and then first we started with short-term experiences, then we evolved for long-term volunteering programs like marine conservation or special needs support or sustainable fashion. And then because we had a lot of volunteers and we were growing, we needed somewhere to host them, an accommodation, and we created Impact House to be able to accommodate them in a more sustainable driven kind of accommodation. So it all grew very autonomously and very naturally. So it's a social business, it's a for-profit organization. In Portugal and in most European countries, there is no social business legal entity that you can choose. So you're either a company or a non-profit. So we always introduce ourselves as a social enterprise, social business, because we always acted like one, we always envision ourselves like one, but in legal terms we are for-profit. And the road to get here was very bumpy, full of mistakes, and big ones and small ones, and I think what really helps us is that both me and Diogo, we are very okay with receiving no's. So we receive no's all the time, and it doesn't bother us. It just gives us motivation to overcome the next no. Of course, we made a lot of mistakes, and now, looking back, there were obvious mistakes, and I don't know how we fell for that, but I think that's the process, and every mistake led us to some kind of learning. We were so focused on the operational part, so there were just the 2 of us working on a company, and we were driving, we were doing the guided tours and everything. We didn't have enough time to actually manage the company and organize the things, and so I think that's one was really big mistake, or cost us a lot of time to zoom out and have some perspective. Okay, we need to hire someone to give us time to think and to organize it and to actually manage the company and not just do stuff. My background is in international management, and Diogo's background is in tourism, so it was a good combination in that sense. He had more the operational experience, and I had more the management experience. I did have a social entrepreneurship discipline subject on my master degree, and that actually helped me understand how a social entrepreneurship project worked. I really enjoyed it, and helped me realize that we had to focus first on a problem and then on a solution, and that still applies to how we create the programs. For example, and every time we go to a new destination, we have meetings with a bunch of non-profits, and we try to understand what's the problem, and then we create the program to help that problem. So, and not the other way around. So we don't create the programs and then we look for the problems to solve. So I think it helps having the training, but it's not super essential. We didn't do anything to get along, we just got along. I understood that I couldn't do it alone, because like for one person it's too much, and it's so much easier to brainstorm something else. And it was just, I was looking for a co-founder, and Diogo and I had a meeting about something else, something like he had something to rent, and Diogo said, okay, let's go for a lunch, and then in this lunch we realized that we had the vision very alike, the goals really aligned. He was in a job that didn't make him happy. He was working in mass tourism. I was working management consulting, and that's definitely didn't make me happy. So we started working together, first informally, just to understand how things could work, and it worked really well. And we have very complementary thinking. He is 10 years older than me, so he also is complimentary about that. And we take all decisions together, and we brainstorm a lot. Work well together, and I think that's we are lucky, because that's very, very important. I never had this problem. So I had more problems like that because of my age. So I started Impact Trip like when I was 23. And then I felt that. Like I felt people like, yeah, this cute girl with 20 something years old is thinking that she's some kind of CEO. Now I'm 30. I don't have that feeling so often. But from being a woman, I never had a feeling of anything. Like sometimes with suppliers, because they're old school, old man, that was like, yeah, Diogo, I'll speak with you. Even though Rita is asking me, I'll speak with you. But there are very specific cases, and they're not relevant at all. Lisbon entrepreneurial ecosystem is very small, so Lisbon in general, Portugal in general is small, so everyone knows everyone, and because we in the beginning we were part of the entrepreneurship network of Santa Casa, and then we were part of Startup Lisboa, the biggest entrepreneurial ecosystem in Lisbon. We met a lot of entrepreneurs, and so we were part of the ecosystem. So we were part also of Women for Climate program, and we were part of some programs, either like mentors or like participants, and so we know a lot of different projects, especially in the social and environmental sector, and yeah, of course we share some like our ideas with people, and try to help as well, so that works. I think people should only start a business when they love the idea. They are completely in love with the idea, as much like they love the project as much as they love their boyfriend or girlfriend. So because otherwise they'll definitely give up, because it's very, very, very hard. And like when we started, I was working, I don't know, 14 hours a day. And if you don't love something, you cannot do it for 14 hours a day. It takes away your weekends, it takes away your nights, sleepless nights, and it takes away important moments with your family or friends, and it's just the way it is. So I think people should really be sure that they want to go ahead of it. Entrepreneurs cannot be shy. A great characteristic of being an entrepreneur is to be a pain in the ass, in the sense that you really have to follow up and fight for something, and go and chase someone that you need to talk with. So if you need to book a meeting or something, schedule a meeting with someone that we want, and they don't reply to an email, you cannot just give up. You just have to be a pain in the ass, call them and email them and Facebook them and Instagram message them until you get that meeting. Otherwise, either you are some influencer, you have some kind of nice position in the area, or you'll get nowhere. So you really have to get used to the idea, or be fan of the idea of being a pain in the ass.